Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Let's talk Bath and Body Works princesses because I am so excited. So I went into the store yesterday when they were released and I managed to pick up all of them, every single princess, all the ones that I wanted, which I was a little worried about because this has been such a popular collection. I wasn't able to get the candle holders or anything like that. I don't like to buy the accessories unless they're on a really good sale because they can be so expensive. But I did manage to get all of my body creams. So let's talk about them and about the scents. This time around, we have a non-princess scent. This one is actually called Life's a Fairy Tale. And it is part of that same collection, but it is not obviously named after a princess. This one has scent notes of charming berries, floral fairy tale, and kingdom woods. Now, I'm going to be honest and say I don't know that I'm really getting woodsy or really even floral. Maybe like a little bit of floral. But this one to me was mostly like sweet berries. Even after putting it on, even after the dry down, this one is just kind of a nice sweet, and maybe it is a tad floral, just because it doesn't really have like a gourmand, I want to eat it kind of a sense to me. To me, it just smells like, I don't know. Yeah, really sweet berries. Maybe it's just a little bit of like the flower of the plant that they're on almost, maybe. I don't know. It's really, really good. I will also say that this was my kids' favorite as well. And they are really into sweet smells and really not anything else. So I wasn't surprised that this was a hit for them. Okay, next we have Princess Aurora. I just love the packaging on these this year, like the cute little diamonds that they have, and then the flowers or whatever it is for each princess up in the corner. It's just so gorgeous. I think it's so beautiful. This one has scent notes of soft rose petals, sandalwood dreams, and sparkling fairy dust. Now, I'm absolutely getting rose from this. It's definitely kind of a rosy smell, but there's something else in there, and it's like a sweetness or maybe even a fruitiness. Because I'm not a big fan of the rose smells. If you've seen some of my rose comparison videos, they're not my fave. But I will say that this one I really enjoy. So there's something really sweet in there that's making me like this rose smell. Okay, next up is Snow White. This one is so pretty. I love that little apple up there. It's just gorgeous. I will say when you sniff this in like the bottle or tube or whatever, it smells really sweet. However, on dry down, you're getting more of the woodsy note. So I'm going to read the notes to you. This one has notes of mystic red apple, ripened fruits, and enchanted woods. Now again, in the tube, I'm definitely getting a lot of apple and a lot of fruit. You can smell a lot of it. But when it dries down, that woodsy smell really comes out. It still has a sweetness to it for sure. It definitely smells like apple, but to me, the woodsy note is really emphasized once it dries down. And I kind of like that. It makes it a different kind of fruity scent. Like usually you get fruity and florals or like a fruity gourmand, but this one is really fun. Fruity and woodsy, yes. This is maybe my favorite princess out of the whole collection. And not even because of scents, just because I love Mulan. As a child of the late 80s, like Mulan was around at the perfect time for me to feel all like, go women, women empowerment. So I loved her. This one has scent notes of magnolia blossom, fierce waters, and radiant apricot. And I definitely get the apricot from this. I've heard some other people say that for them it's more floral, but for me, the apricot is so strong. Oh my gosh, like it smells so fruity. Similar to Aurora, like there is that hint of floral there. Like I can see where the magnolia blossom is coming from. And the waters as well. It's not to me a super aquatic scent, but it's there for sure. But the strongest note for me is that radiant apricot. super strong, fruity, sweet smell, which I think mixes nice with the water. And I guess you can sort of get the floral in there a little bit, and it's complementary. But I think it's the fruit with the water that really makes this scent. Next up is Rapunzel. This I would say is maybe one of my favorite Disney princess movies, even if she isn't my favorite Disney princess. Just that song, I See the Light. It's such a beautiful song. It's gorgeous. So I do have some affinity for Rapunzel. Her scent notes are glowing sundrop flower, rich nectar, and golden musk. And I will say this one is pretty floral forward. I would say aside from Aurora, it's one of the more floral forward ones in the collection. But it also has that musk underneath of it. I'm not sure what rich nectar is supposed to smell like, but the musk is definitely underneath that floral, kind of giving it some body, a little bit of heaviness, which I think makes it a nice like transition from winter to spring. Because in spring, you know, you do want a lot of florals. I mean, it's exciting to kind of get back to those living smells. But I think the musk underneath of it gives it that heaviness to make a nice transition. I just really, yeah, it just makes, I got lotion on my nose. But yeah, this really just makes it such a nice, well-rounded fragrance. Okay, now we're going to move on to the two princesses that were also released and available last year, but made a comeback this year. These were in some ways a little bit of a bummer because they didn't release the hand sanitizers with them, the PocketBacs, which I was kind of bummed about because I think it's fun to collect those as well. So we'll start with Belle. Her scent notes are rose petals, sparkling buttercup, and whipped vanilla. And for those of you who managed to get your hands on it last year, it is exactly the same scent as the body cream that was released last year. It is pretty floral forward. It's very rosy. I don't know, it kind of baffles me a little bit that they released this one right after releasing their whole rose collection. I don't know, I would have chosen a more different scent to re-release personally. But it is a nice rose smell, and especially with that vanilla underneath it, kind of the way that I just talked about Rapunzel. It's nice to have a floral that has a little bit of oomph backing it up. And I think that vanilla really adds to that for the Belle body cream. Last of all, we have Tiana. And I once again want to highlight how much I love this packaging compared to last year's packaging. She even has like these pretty purple beads, like it's almost Mardi Gras colored. This is really, really pretty. I love it. And Tiana was one of my favorite scents from last year. She has scent notes of delicate water lily, gilded amber, and shimmering bayou woods. Now, to me, I get a nice aquatic smell from this, and it's almost a sweet aquatic. I have definitely seen some people online saying that it smells like a swamp or like, and I don't get that at all. So it doesn't come out for everybody's nose. Maybe it does for yours. That's totally okay. But for me, I really like this one. The combo of that little bit of woody smell with the aquatic smell, and plus that like nice little bit of floral in there. I think this is a really, really nice one. So if you ask me, my absolute favorite of all 7 princess themed scents that were released this year, I'd have to say my top 2 were Snow White and Mulan. Both of these had really nice, sweet scents that I thought were just lovely. Though all in all, I thought it was a pretty good collection. It was maybe pretty floral forward, but then it is a princess collection, and it is spring, so I suppose floral forward does fit the theme. But if it were me, I probably would have put in a little bit more variety in scents. But I do feel like a lot of them worked with the theme. Snow White, for instance, like an apple scent is a no-brainer for her. Belle with the rose, like that's pretty obvious. Aurora with the rose, I suppose her name when she's in hiding is Briar Rose, so okay, but I don't know. I'm sure you could have come up with something else to give, like maybe even a super berry scented thing. Like she goes picking berries in the woods. Why not? Berries in woods. It would have been a pretty smell. But I digress. Overall, I am pretty happy with this collection. But I would say if you are not as much of a floral person, you're definitely going to want to go in and smell first. Just to see which ones are reading as really floral heavy to you, and which ones come off as more emphasizing the other notes and maybe are a bit more pleasant for your nose. Thank you all so much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please do ask me down in the comments below. I would love to talk Bath and Body Works scents with you. Thank you all so much, and I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day.